Good morning, everyone. Yeah, like it says in the description, I just want to see how many of you suckers are up on a Sunday morning. I know everybody worked all week, they want to rest. A lot of people are going to church, but I was supposed to do a live stream, and I actually put it up like hours in advance. I think it was like 2 Fridays ago, and it was the end of the workday, and I was just not in the mood. I think I had it set for like 7:30 at night, and I'm a little confused here because it looks like StreamYard has changed a lot of things. It's been a while since I did this, so you're here with me in my kitchen right now. Anybody comes in, if you want to come up, I'll put the. How do we do this? Hey, Amanda, what's going on? What time is it where you are right now? I'm cooking breakfast, and you all have to hang around and watch me do it. I had some things I wanted to talk about because everybody is all up in arms about everything that's been going on. You know, the earthquake that hit the Northeast, and I just want to. I'm having fried eggs with liver, grass-fed liver from my farmer. I got my pancakes in the toaster oven. So what's that? 7:30 p.m. I'm good. Really busy. Kind of at a standstill right now with careers. You know, I want to change. I want to get out of what I've been doing all these years. So yeah, I usually have bacon, but I ate it all up yesterday. Um, yeah, I've been in school for like 3.5 years now. At one point, I was in three different schools all at once. I had tons of credentials, tons of certifications, and I'm trying to decide which way to go. But everything's so weird right now with business. I mean, I've been in business for 3 decades, and I've never seen an environment like this. It's just kind of weird. So I'm in my pajamas, and this is my bed coat. I hope nobody minds. And I got the the color right down there. I thought that would be fun to do. I can't remember how to do everything on here. Oh, there's the invite. Yeah, there it is. Okay, copy. Do I do this through here? It's been a while since I did this. How do I put this in here? I think I can do this here. And then everything is changing and not for the good. It's freaking horrible. Amanda, do you watch Survival Lily at all on YouTube? She's Survival Lily is a lovely young woman who lives in Austria. And every once in a while, she gets up on YouTube and she reads the paper and she gives really good news about what's going on in Europe. And she's so heartbroken about her own country just turning into such a mess. You know, it's been very, very calm and peaceful for over 50 years. And it looks like a lot of these things they've been talking about, you know, with the chip, the ID chips, and what else? Social credit score, which I mean, that's basically been a thing for a long time, anyways. And if it wasn't digital, it was word of mouth. But she's so upset with everything. Survival Lily is a really good channel. If nobody knows about her yet, you do now, and I want you to go check her out because grass-fed butter. This is a little light. It should be very, very yellow. I changed my shopping a long time ago when I got sick and almost died because I was on a plant-based diet like a dumbass, thinking it would help me. The only thing you should prepare for on a plant-based diet is your plot, your coffin. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to flip you off. And your will, because I'm sorry that they're pushing it again. the GOV apostrophe T. They're pushing that garbage again. Maybe a small portion of the population can deal with that, but I'm sorry, we're humans and we only have one stomach. Actually, I could talk a little bit. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna break it down. Um, if you look at it physiologically, we actually have. You could interpret like another stomach because of the way our digestion works. But our digestion is basically like dogs. We're meat eaters, and that's all there is to it. And I made the mistake of not eating meat for 3 years. Felt like a champ until my fat reserves ran out, and that's when I thought I was going to die. I mean, really, it was that bad that I thought I was going to be planted, pushing up daisies. It was horrible. No vitamins, no minerals. Maple syrup from a friend. Can't beat it. He had a lot to do this year, too. My friend down the road here, he's got a sick sister down in North Carolina, and he still found time to get, I can't remember how many gallons he got, but he got quite a bit, so I was able to get some from him. I'll have to go and check. Yeah, can I put that up? I don't think I can do it through here. Because all I have is a tablet. You know, they told me when I went back to school, you can't do this with a tablet. I said, yeah, watch me. Right? One hand tied behind my back. It was not easy, but I got it done. So, Amanda, tell me. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I just saw your comment. Yeah, I do too. And sometimes I worry, I don't want to get too technical, but sometimes I worry a little bit about, that's my cuckoo clock. Oh, you found her? I think I can. But I have to do it from my phone because basically I'm working on two phones, a big phone and a little phone. Do you guys get earthquakes, Amanda? Because we do. And I was at a health seminar over in Connecticut yesterday, and one of the first things the speaker talked about was, what did everybody think of the earthquake? Oh my God. And he comes from Minnesota, which is interesting because they have such a great accent. And he says, is that something that happens here a lot? And everybody's like, no, it's hard. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Happens all the time. I put up an Instagram post on the field guide account showing where the fault lines are. New York City is loaded with them. I put up an old map. The faults run right underneath the what do you call it? The streets. Here's Survival Lily. There you go. So if anybody else pops in, yeah, we're always rumbling. Now I live in the Lower Hudson Valley. The earthquake that came from this fault, this was the Ramco fault. In my Instagram post or reel, it shows where it is, and it's along the Kittatinny Mountains, which is basically part of the Appalachian Mountain Range, and it's on the southeast end of it. So it kind of like goes in a diagonal up to New York from New Jersey all the way up. I've been living here for almost 25 years. And this house has always had a shake or two here or there. We just had one up in Buffalo. There's another fault up there. There was one in Buffalo in February 2023. Yeah, the one in Taiwan was really big. There's a big difference in faults. The fault here is half a mile deep, and so if we get one that's bigger than 2 or 3, we're going to take all of it. So it's going to shake up the house. Now, like I said, I've been living here for a long time. when I first moved in, I remember I was laying on the couch watching TV one weekend, and I could hear the china up in the closet, up in the cabinet, starting to shake and rattle. I was like, almost like a train's going past the house. And truth be told, this is 25 years ago. I had never felt a earthquake before. And then the whole house started to move, and you could hear the windows. Not a lot. It's just a jiggling. It's not like it's starting to give and take and get ready to fall down. But yeah, that was my first one here, and we've had quite a few since. I would say in 25 years I've been here, probably maybe 5 or 6 of them. I could be wrong. And then we had another one in 2017, and who knows how many little tremors we've had since then. There was one south of me about 6 months ago. I felt a little bit of that one. Yeah, what was so cool about this one, what was it? Is they're saying USGS, I think, is saying 4.9, and some places are saying 4.8. It was a good shake, and I was home because I only had to go out and check on some properties. So I was home doing homework, and then I got involved with my clothes. I love my clothes, and I was steaming some stuff, and all of a sudden I felt it. I heard, and you could hear it. Usually you just kind of feel it. It's a little shaking, but this one, you could hear the ground moving. It was, it was awesome. I'm sorry. That stuff, well, I'm not sorry. That stuff doesn't scare me. I'm such a realist, and I'm so into biology and the earth and geology and everything. I mean, I'm a scientist at heart, so it doesn't scare me. These are my homemade pancakes. I make a whole bunch of them all at once, and I freeze them. And then I pop them in the toaster oven. So, okay, I'm kind of running all over the place with this idea. So, earthquakes are not unusual for this area. Of course, everybody's got, since 2020, I mean, fear mongering has been something that's been going on for ages, time immemorial. But since 2020, it's hit the high side of stupid. And so everybody is like programmed to have this crazy knee jerk reaction to everything and anything. And that goes back to the plant based diet, because if all you're eating are freaking plants and nothing but grains, your brain isn't going to work right because you're not getting the right vitamins and nutrients, you're not getting cholesterol and fat. So you don't think right. And that's a fact. So people just automatically flip out. Oh, the interesting thing, I've said it before in maybe a video or two in a live stream, but I've been having problems with my neighbor. Nicest guy in the world up until 2 years ago. And there were some things that he put himself through that probably led to it, but he flipped his lid. So I've been avoiding him. And after the hurricane, after the earthquake on Friday, I noticed he like exploded out of the house and was like slamming the door. And it sounded like he threw, I wasn't watching, but it sounded like he threw something at his car, at his truck or whatever. And then he slammed the door, and then he like peeled out of the driveway. So I don't know if maybe there was an emergency somewhere and someone called him to come help, but it was really weird behavior. So, if you don't eat nutritionally dense food, and you're on stupid plant-based crap. This is liver. Won't hurt you. I'm not just talking to you, Amanda. I'm talking to anybody who watches this later. Um, yeah, if you don't get the right nutrition, your body isn't going to function right, and your brain isn't going to function right. In fact, it's going to get so bad that you're not even going to notice how dysfunctional you are. So, when things like this happen. So yeah, this earthquake, I mean, because I sit pretty much, I would have to say, where the fault? I think it's like right under the house. I mean, when I first moved here, I remember the owner had mentioned the fabled underground river that comes from upstate New York that runs through the through another fault. I can't find that anymore. I looked on the USGS maps about 20 years ago. I found it. So there's the Ramapo. There's all the faults on Manhattan Island, and then there's the one that comes down from upstate New York, which I can't seem to find anymore. I don't know why it's not on the map. I wasn't imagining things because, like I said, I'm a scientist at heart and I love to look this stuff up. I love to know. Excuse me. Breakfast is good. I love to know exactly what's in my environment. Amanda, you said you're anemic and you need to have iron fusion. I eat meat every day. It could be your digestion. You're just not digesting it. Your body isn't absorbing it. So you might want to like look into a prebiotic and or prebiotics. The problem with prebiotics and probiotics is people will find one and they'll just keep taking that. But the fact of the matter is, our digestive system from our mouth right down to our gut until it comes out in the toilet is loaded with all different kinds of bacteria, helpful bacteria that help us digest. So you might want to do sauerkraut. You might want to do, if you like it, kefir, um, aged cheeses. You could buy a couple if you want, but switch it up and make it. My memory is failing me. Switch it up and make it very varied because our body likes it thrives on variety. It's very very good at digesting when it has the tools it needs. Natural probiotics and prebiotics. Let me see if I can get a little list here. I know I shouldn't be talking into this thing. Everybody says the same thing. Bananas, yogurt. Make sure it's the best source you can get. Now they're putting tempeh on here, and I wouldn't do that because not unless you can find a Japanese woman who lives in the mountains of Japan in a teeny tiny ancient village who makes soy products by hand. I would not buy any soy products off the market because they want to get it out on the shelf real quick and they they super cook it with hexane gas, which is highly poisonous and a carcinogenic. And oh, kimchi is another one. Buttermilk. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So the soy, yeah, the way it's marketed, it's really dangerous. It's not good. It's very unhealthy. Like I said, unless you can find that Japanese woman up in the mountains, I don't know her. If you do, pass it on. Let me know. They have apple cider vinegar on here, and I've heard that said before. It even says in the Bible that we are not to ingest vinegar. Vinegar is known. I can't really pull up the studies right this second, but vinegar is not. Oh, it's my neighbor's flag. I thought there was something walking through the woods out there. Um, Vinegar is known to cause mouth cancer and esophageal cancer. Mm, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, if you can get it from food, all the better instead of taking a pill. Um, when I was having my sickness due to stupid plant-based, I found a toothpaste that was a prebiotic. It's called Revitin, and that really, really helps. You can use that one all the time. I mean, as long as you have a mixture of probiotics and prebiotics. And this toothpaste is so, let me see if I can put a link up for it. It's so safe. I mean, there's nothing bad in it at all. It was developed by a dentist. He was getting tired of watching his patients come in pain with horrible tooth problems, and he came up with this Revitin. Tastes like an orange creamsicle. Can't beat that. And it's so safe you can swallow it. Good, good stuff. So yeah, I mean, this earthquake, Nothing new for the Hudson Valley. It was a good one. The whole East Coast felt it. I mean, Pennsylvania felt it. But there's no reason to panic about it. It's not the end of the world. It's here's the thing. I know there's a lot of conspiracies out there. And you can't always tell what's true and what isn't, because especially since 2020, if you weren't awake before then, you should be awake by now. But there's always something fishy afoot. If it wasn't natural, I'll be pissed. But if it is natural, I'm just very curious. I think it's really cool. And then we have the eclipse coming up tomorrow. And people are worried that something's going to go on with that. And the internet's going to be shut down. I think it went up. Yep, it went up. Do you really, Amanda? How do you cook them? Because I've tried to eat kidneys. I hate to say this, but I think it says in the Bible. I think JV told me you're not supposed to eat them, because I didn't read the Bible as well as some people did. But I would love to eat kidneys. I don't know if you heard me, but how do you cook your own kidneys, or does somebody else do it? Like, do you go someplace to have them? I've tried, but I don't know what I did wrong. I got lamb kidneys one time. Steak and kidney pie. Yeah. A friend of mine who grew up in South Dakota, that's what she told me. She said, you're eating it wrong. I was trying to like fry them up, and the whole kitchen smelled like the dirty floor of a freaking barn that hadn't been cleaned in like 20 years. Hmm. Maybe beef tallow. They were so strong. I mean, usually I'm really a pretty good cook. I mean, I love to bake and everything, and usually I know what to do to control something if something seems to be going wrong. But when that urine smell started coming out, I wonder if something else was going on with them. I don't know. Hard to tell, but I tried it. Couldn't eat them. I didn't waste them. I put them out for the fox, and the fox totally loved that. Speaking of that, I got to get my trail cam out again. This is my old Tasco Walmart special. Real cheap, but you know what? I've had this thing like 4 years, and I will put the only thing it needs is a strap. The strap is dry rotted, but I can put batteries in that, and like a year and a half goes by, and the damn thing. I mean, it doesn't really run that much, but it's out in all kinds of weather. It's always working. And the bear are a big problem. I don't care what anybody says, but as far as I'm concerned, anybody in their right mind would not want to propagate bears. I mean, come on. I see it all. I'm seeing it all the time now. The DEC found a bear cub. The DEC found a bear cub. Somebody found a bear cub. Called the DEC. They'll make more. Just leave it where it is. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people like bringing predators in to sit in their lap. They're not our pets like the coyotes. So, in connection with the fox and the trail camera, Friday I took in my suet and my bird feeder, because last year I have a video of a bear that came in at like 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Young guy, and I chased him off. Went right after the suet, and unfortunately, you know, they're letting them come around the houses, and people are feeding them. In fact, that same bear, as far as I know, went up the road about a mile or so. I think it was my town's police Facebook page, and they were saying that the people who lived in that street area, stopped feeding the bear, and I think it might have been the same one. It was right around the same time, but Everybody's got to stop this. There it is again. You don't eat right, you don't function right. And this feeble-minded thought that the animals are our friends and they were here first, and bullshit. We are stewards of the earth. We're supposed to be taking care of this stuff. Yeah, a woman in Pennsylvania, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Um, about the middle part of the state. I'm not sure what county it was in. She let her dogs out like she always did, two little dogs. When they were running out, she happened to look across the road and she saw two bear cubs up in the tree. So immediately she went and ran out of the house. She went to grab her dogs. Bam! Mother bear buffaloes her to the ground. She's okay. And she was in the hospital. I don't know if she got out or not. I'm sure she did. But the one thing she kept saying over and over was how amazed at the power and how fast this this bear was. Um, don't feed the wildlife. I'm guilty of feeding the birds and the squirrels, and I just love. I know I shouldn't do it. The thing is, though, I wrote a paper for college about that. Um, I've heard it said that, you shouldn't feed them because then it like throws them off their routine and then they become dependent. I don't think so because birds are major foragers and they're expert survivalists. I mean, all wildlife is. They'll if it's not here outside the window, they're gonna find it someplace else. So yeah, and then last year there was that guy in Arizona who was building a house. Turned out he was on I don't know. They say he was like on state park land or something, and he wasn't supposed to be there. But that's beside the point. He's building his house. Guy in his 60s fell asleep on his porch. Black bear came along and ate him. Ate him. Killed him. Everybody's like blaming him. It's like no, 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 no. Now's the time when something like this happens. The first time it happens, it's time to get the men together and the women who want to get involved. Get the guns, get out there and blast them because we don't need that. I'm sorry, I grew up in this area and you had a bear once in a blue moon and it was not an issue. In fact, what they used to do was the DEC used to trap them and then bring them way, way up to the Adirondacks, and sometimes they were passed off to somebody else and they went up to Hudson Bay. We don't need them. Well, you're right, Amanda. But, at the same time, putting food out like that, and I do the black oil sunflower seeds, that can attract other things. In fact, I know the fox always peruses it in the wintertime because there's always a piece of suet or something that falls down, or like if I replace it, and I get the really good beef suet from my farmer. It's the good stuff. The woodpeckers love it. So when I'm replacing it, if there's a little bit left in the bottom of it, I'll throw it on the ground because I know the fox is going to grab it. I have not seen a coyote here in a long, long time. And my neighbor up the street, who actually died in 2021, so I can't find out from him. He lives next to a wooded area, and he said he used to hear the coyote up there every night, but I haven't. He's been gone since 2021, which is a shame because he was a really awesome guy. I just get maple syrup from him too. Magpies, mints. When it's breeding season, and I don't get swooped, but I don't leave food out. Really? They'll dive bomb you? Hmm. Blue jays used to be like that here. They don't really do that anymore. They might do it to a cat, but what else would swoop us here? Really nothing, except the blue jay. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where we're going, but people are just getting scarier and scarier because, like I said, I've got that fault line from upstate that seems to have disappeared, and then the Ramapo. And this house has always had a shake here and there, and so I thought it was localized right here. So I texted a few friends and I said, "Did you feel that? We just had an effing earthquake." And they all wrote back that they either felt it or they didn't. But of course, they always have to add, "It was so scary. This is so weird. This is so crazy." No, no, this is the earth. Like I said, unless it's somebody else pulling some shit. Now, I'm going to be pissed about that, but let's hope they're not, and let's hope it was just natural. But yeah, just a reaction that people have to everything. It's not even normal. Oh, I need to turn my heater on. I don't turn the heat up. It's well, in 2020 I couldn't really afford the heat, so I got used to the thermostat being at like 50, 52. But now it's protest because the price is so friggin' ridiculous. So I don't turn. I use my little space heaters that are basically the same as running an air conditioner. Magpies are really bad for swooping. We have a magpie. Does anybody eat them, Amanda? Because 420 blackbirds baked in a pie is not a joke. We used to eat songbirds and such once upon a time. They're full of vitamins and minerals. In fact, street vendors in New York City used to sell robins on a stick, roasted robins. But that was back when we had flocks so big they blacked out the sun. Really? That makes me think of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Well, who was it? I think was it Tippy who got hit in the head, and then when she took her hand away, she had a handful of blood. Oh, you're not allowed to eat them. Hmm. Yeah. Audubon did a lot of good for conservation and the wildlife, but he's the one who got this whole thing. So, well, actually, it was a few groups before him back in the teens and the 20s who were trying to stop the eating of songbirds and the shorebird hunting where the New York City restaurants and such, and the egret plumes for the hats and the ladies' fashion. So we don't see it like we used to. And so if he was trying to stop that, if those groups were trying to stop all the bird hunting back then, so that we would get these ginormous flocks back, something went wrong because it didn't work. Not too. John Rosalia, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. What are you having for breakfast? I'm having liver and eggs. There's an area not too far from here. Um, it's it's a black dirt fields. It's Mastodon country. I did a video about it, and the bird migration out there is incredible. In fact, I'm thinking of going out today to see the sandhill cranes because I've actually never seen them in person in the wild. So I'd love to go out. And they said that there's a nesting pair that they like find one spot to nest, and then they say, "Nah, we don't want that. It's not ideal." And then they go to another spot, and they say that's not ideal. So I don't know if they've narrowed it down yet. But the bird migration out there is incredible. And when I was skiing down in New Jersey, I came back through the back roads through this it's the onion fields, the black dirt fields, and it was amazing. I didn't even have to. I thought I was going to have to stop and get the binoculars out, and I'm just worried that these birds are going to hit the car because there are snow geese coming at me in a huge flock, and then there's a flock of grackles coming in the other direction, and then there's Canadian geese coming over. So it was a real trifecta, and they were coming so close to the car because they were kind of like swooping up off the flat black dirt, and the road was up on a grade, and they were kind of swooping up over that, going in like three different directions. And I thought, geez, should I stop? Should I stop? But I thought, no, if I stop, I got traffic behind me. That could cause a big problem too. You don't want to be stupid about it. But that was fascinating. That's actually, all the years I've lived here, that's actually the first time I ever got to experience that out there. So what's going on, John? What's the good word? I love wild edibles. Anybody else here subscribe to wild edibles? They're always sharing out my video. Am I subscribed to them because YT has the bad habit of dropping subscriptions? I can't find them. And I did spell it correctly. There's Survival Lily. I tell you what, it's gloom and doom anymore. It always was. You know, there was always something afoot, something fishy, but nowadays it's like, who's ever in charge? My God, let's freaking fire them. I'm so sick and tired of it. Yeah, so I wasn't going to stay on for very long this morning. I just wanted to have breakfast with everybody and just a sneaky way of finding out who's up. Of course, for Amanda, it's evening where she is. So they'll come up to you and they'll sit on your leg and your shoulders and eat out of your hand. Yeah, they're very smart birds. Really? That is so cool. We can do that with a lot of the birds here, like the white-breasted nuthatch is a feisty one, and of course the black-cap chickadees. They're very feisty too. I mean, if you just hold your hand out, and if you're patient enough, they'll just. It feels so cool to feel their little tiny feet on your fingertips. It's awesome. I think the equivalent here would be a raven. Oh, that's my cuckoo clock. There it is. I've only got one. After years and years of not having one. That's a little hunter. And I gotta set it a lot because I think it's 12 hours. But I want to get a whole bunch of them. I love the sound of clocks. Um, yeah, ravens. That I love seeing them in the woods. And the funny thing about it is, with all this predation that's been going on, the yeah, for as much as you can see of it, it's all handmade and it's all wooden. I know the guy who makes them. He makes beautiful clocks. But with all the predation and everything, and now this year with my survey season starting, I'm really kind of apprehensive about what's going on. I mean, I just don't find it enjoyable anymore. But last year, let's see, I had 5 bear encounters, and I had one with 2 coyote, and all 6 times there were ravens up in the trees, just kind of flitting around, bouncing from branch to branch. 2 of them talking. I love it when they talk. Yeah, me too. In fact, my cousin was here some years ago, and I had just a battery operated one in the bedroom. And we go to bed one night, and about 5 minutes later, she gets up and she comes out with the clock and she goes, "No, no, no. I can't deal with this," because she's just not used to it. But, half the time, I don't even hear it. I've got a Wagon wall in the living room that has a Westminster chime. Half the time, I don't even hear it. But when I do hear it, I really enjoy it. And if something wakes me up, oh, this is so cool. I don't have good pictures of this. But since November, oh, that must be so cool. Does he wind all of them? Are they all working? So since November, something's been waking me up like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And I'm thinking, all right, I've been stressed out a lot. There's been a lot of stupid stuff going on. It could be me, could be a little deterioration in health. I need to do something about it. So finally, I got smart about a month or so ago, and I put the trail camera on my dresser. Now, in my bedroom, I have a great big picture window with a pretty good sized ledge outside of it. In fact, in the summertime, the Carolina wren likes to put dummy nests in there, which is cool because they're like that. They'll like put dummy nests all over the place to confuse predators and confuse humans too. And every once in a while, she or he will put a bunch of moss and stuff into the corner. But anyhow, I found out what was waking me up at night. Possibly it might be something else too. Um, there's a screech owl. There's an eastern screech owl that's been landing in the left-hand corner of my big picture window. And when I was looking at the pictures, I could see me. I could see the whole bedroom. I could see me sleeping, and I can see that left-hand corner of the window. And there was like 5 or 6 consecutive, and then there was a blank one, without anything in the window. It looked like a smudge or like maybe a light from a truck or something going by on the highway. When I zoomed in, I saw the eastern screech owl. I said, "You gotta be kidding." So there's been a screech owl. I don't know if it's calling, doing its trilling or not. I think just the fact that, because I mean, I could hear my neighbor fart 5 houses down at 2 o'clock in the morning in bed. That's how good my hearing is. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on because my trail camera only takes pictures. But yeah, I mean, if it is a screech out, I haven't done anything about it. Just thinking about other things. I guess I should because it's not good to be woken up all the time. We need our sleep. It's one of the foundations of health. But I thought that was really cool too. So somebody said to me, I was telling a friend about it, and he said, "Oh, you can get those spikes," and I'm like, I know it's waking me up and it's not good for me, but I just don't feel inspired to do anything to stop it. Yeah, could be. I was thinking when it lands, it could be the sound of the wing hitting the window. Maybe speaking of the Carolina wren out there by my car right now. Um, yeah, it could be the cause. But kind of reminds me of what's that song? Wildfire. There's what? How did it go? A hoot owl outside my window 6 nights in a row. She's coming to me. I know. I think that's how it goes. It's been a long time since I heard it. So I can't find the Wild Edibles channel. I don't know why. I was just saying before that they're always sharing out. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm unsubscribed. Unsubscribed. She's always sharing out my videos. I'm so thankful for that. Wild Edibles, if you see this or if you, thank you. I really appreciate it. So as far as my channel goes, oh, it's 8:05. Yeah, I was only gonna do this for about an hour. Amanda, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And where did John go? John probably said, "I'm out of here. I got better things to do." This was totally impromptu. In fact, I might not even keep it up. I'll see how it does in the next 24 hours. Oh, for Wild Edibles? Yes, let me see. I just had it. Here we go. Pretty sure that's the one. Let me just double check my notification. Yes, that's the one. Okay. Yeah, I finally got over 600. My God, it felt like I was in the 500s forever, just up and down and up and down. And I was going to do a giveaway, but I thought 600 really isn't a lot. I mean, I appreciate it, everybody's support, but it's not that big a milestone, especially when I sat at 500 for like a year. So freaking ridiculous. I shouldn't complain because it's good to have anybody watch your channel. But you figure with the amount of people out there, you'd think it would go faster, but like they say, it's all about the algorithm, and it's all about ads and sales, and we're kind of at their mercy. Yeah, I know how you feel, Amanda. I got like that too. Well, I was also busy, with school and everything, but and actually I'm going to work on a video today. It's actually footage that I shot 3 years ago at the Cornell Botanical Gardens, and I just haven't felt like doing it. I mean, recently I'm just, oh, no problem. The videos I've done recently, I just video whatever whatever I'm seeing, and then I've been putting it together with with the voiceover, because sometimes when I'm out there, I just want to look at stuff. I don't want to talk. I'm in interviews with teachers and meetings and stuff like that for school so much. I'm constantly talking, and I just don't feel like doing it. Sometimes it's easier to come home and then you do a little research, so you have a little more meat in your video. Yeah, the last one I did. See, this whole predator thing is really pissing me off. Because I didn't grow up like this. The men protected the village. The men protected the women and the children. They didn't sit around waiting for this stuff to pop up in your yard, like in Bedford, New York last year, where there was, I think, a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old. This was last August. Little boy out in the backyard playing. Black bear comes along, starts chewing on it. First, the paper says, "Oh, well, the bear had rabies." No, they said the bear probably had rabies. No, bear was hungry. Bear was eating. A bear is an opportunist. The bear is an omnivore. A bear will eat anything. It'll eat garbage. It'll eat a deer carcass, and it will eat you. And the best part is, it starts with the head. Coyote starts from here down. Now, why do we want these things so close? Oh, because they were there first. Ah, fuck that. This is ridiculous. Yeah, so one of the last videos I did was a vlog about an encounter that I had with a mangy coyote that wasn't acting aggressive, but I'm sorry, I was not taught to curl up with these things. I was taught to protect myself and repel them. I'm just waiting for my coffee to heat up. Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. I don't feel like putting a whole lot of work into it. I see some of the videos, and a lot of them are very good, but a lot of them just make me gag, because everybody just sounds like a used car salesman. It's like everybody's got the same script from somewhere. Just be yourself. If you don't feel like talking, then do a voiceover. If you don't feel like doing a voiceover, then do the text, and that's it. Add a little bit of music. It doesn't. I don't understand why everybody wants to put so much work, and I guess they want the money out of it. But to be perfectly honest, I abhor ads. And I've often thought, now that my channel's starting to grow a little bit, which is really cool, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thinking, do I really want to monetize because I hate ads that much? I mean, I really hate them. You're in the middle of watching someone. I know you can control them. You can put them in the middle or at the end or whatever, but lately I noticed there's been double ads coming up just in the last week or so. And on the phone, it's weird because the ad will come up, and then you get that control board that's mostly white, and I get rid of that. And then another ad pops up on the bottom, and then you get rid of the one on the top, and then another one comes in, and then you're going back and forth. It's like, it's too much work. It's too much work. But these crazy things, the way they're made today, it's I swear to God, it's to keep you focused. I mean, you do one thing, like these are Androids. So if I do an Instagram reel, it's not very compatible because it wasn't made. Instagram wasn't made for Android. It was made for iPhone, and so it's a little more difficult sometimes. And I'm like an hour into it. It's like this damn thing just took an hour out of my life for a stupid Instagram post. And then a little bit later, it sits up for about 24 hours and somebody benefited from it and somebody learned something from it. So I try not to complain too much, but these things are just evil. They're satanic and they're witchcraft because they want to keep you right in front of it. It's like mesmerism. Yeah, exactly. Or any animal that can eat. Yeah, exactly. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And, when people say, and when I'm out doing my surveys, I hear it from hikers all the time. They won't bother you if you don't bother them. Yeah, this time. Oh, yeah, I just passed the bear. Anything happened? No, no, the bear just went in another direction. This time. It's going to start getting real ugly around here. There's too many of them. I don't think I'm being dramatic at all. It's just wrong. We're not meant to live together. We have, animals we eat. Like, well, you can eat a bear if you want to, but cows and chickens and lambs and goats and ducks. But we domesticate them, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're not, not supposed to have the bears hanging around. You have a bear or a coyote, you shoot them because they're a threat to your food and your livestock. And these hikers who are out there, they're teaching these bears that humans are passive and non-aggressive. The only way to train a black bear is shoot him in the ass with a 12 gauge or higher caliber and chase them off. And their skin is tough. Chances are that lead is going to sit in there and probably not affect them. May or may not. I don't know of any studies on it. But bear hide is so thick, and for the most part, in a lot of cases, depending on what size you're using and what the velocity is, chances are most of those pellets are going to bounce right off that bear butt. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But you know, the libtards in this country and around the world have taught people that aggression is wrong. It's not. It's a normal human emotion. I've been sick and tired for years of hearing that side say that we're not supposed to be angry, we're not supposed to get upset, we're not supposed to speak up. No, that's all normal human behavior. Not doing that is not normal human behavior. I'm tired of them telling us what to do because all of it's wrong and it's convoluted. So that's the news from Lake Wobegon. Well, Amanda, thank you for coming in. It just dawned on me that, because I kind of, I started a live stream a couple weeks ago and then I just bailed out. I thought, well, what the hell? Let's do a breakfast one and see what happens. But guess it's early. It was early, not for you, but for anybody here on the East Coast or even up in the mountains. So yeah, it was fun talking with you. Thanks for giving me some insight about the magpies. I didn't know that. I know they're smart birds, but I didn't know that they were that friendly. So yeah, have fun with that. That's really cool. It's been a long time since I hand fed a chickadee. I should bring some birdseed with me today wherever I go. But I'm not going to go where that mangy coyote was because that place. See, here's another problem. Preserves can kind of help and hurt the WMU, Wildlife Management Unit for hunting. So if you got the preserve and nobody's hunting there, you're going to get, and I've seen it, you're going to get an influx of a higher population of coyote. They're going to be chowing down on the deer and the fawns, and then it'll cycle, and they'll be eating the rabbits and everything. So you're going to get a whole bunch there. The hope, I believe, or the thought process is that the deer and whatever the deer mostly in those preserves are going to move into the WMU. where there's trapping and there's a little less predation and there's more hunting. That's the thought, but it's you can't always count on that. So this preserve that I've been going to, they're completely clueless, and they want to, sit on the couch with these predators and watch TV with them and feed them popcorn. So this problem over there is not going to end. They're just going to leave it that way, and they probably think it's cool. And the worst part about it is it's a children's school on the weekdays. And that's the part that really bothers me, that an adult would be that feeble-minded and irresponsible to allow a predator in that horrid, sick condition to just ramble around on a property where there's a bunch of little kids. That is the epitome of mental retardation and totally criminal irresponsibility. I just think it's horrible. So I'm going to leave on those words. And again, Amanda, it was so cool talking with you. And I hope the rest of your evening goes well. And thanks again for coming in. I appreciate it. Take care, Amanda.